What if the only thing standing between you and your dream job, your next big promotion, your most important client, is not your skills, not your experience, not your qualifications, but simply the way you speak in an online meeting? What if right now, somewhere across the world, a recruiter is watching someone on a video call, and in 60 seconds flat, they decide, this person is exactly who we need, not because of their resume, not because of their degree, but because of how they spoke, how they carried themselves through a screen, how their words landed with confidence, clarity, and absolute professionalism. Now think about your last online meeting. Did you freeze when someone asked you a question? Did you say, 15 times? Did you struggle to find the right English phrase while everyone waited? Did you feel invisible? Like your ideas were brilliant inside your head, but completely lost the moment they left your mouth? I've been there. Millions of people are there right now. Talented, intelligent, hardworking people, losing opportunities not because they lack ability, but because nobody ever taught them how to speak professionally online. But today, that changes. Today, you are going to learn exactly what to say, exactly how to say it, and exactly how to sound like the most confident, polished professional in every single online meeting you ever attend. Stay with me, because what comes next will completely transform the way the world hears you. What if the only thing standing between you and your dream job, your next big promotion, your most important client, is not your skills? Not your experience, not your qualifications, but simply the way you speak in an online meeting. What if 60 seconds of confident, clear, professional English could change the entire direction of your career? And what if everything you need to learn, every phrase, every technique, every secret, is sitting right here, waiting for you in the next few minutes of your life? Welcome. I am Alia, and if you have ever sat in front of your laptop camera, heart pounding, palms sweating, brain suddenly forgetting every English word you have ever learned in your entire life, then this speech is written specifically, personally, and powerfully for you. I know what that silence feels like. I know the panic of being asked a question in a professional meeting and your mind going completely blank. I know the embarrassment of saying the wrong thing, the wrong way, at the wrong moment. And I know the deep, burning frustration of having incredible ideas trapped inside you, but no bridge, no language bridge to carry those ideas into the room. Today, I am that bridge. And by the time we finish together, you will not just survive online meetings. You will dominate them with grace, intelligence, and unstoppable confidence. Let us begin with something that most people completely underestimate, and that is the power of your first sentence. Alia knows this from deeply personal experience. The moment you open your mouth in an online meeting, in that very first breath, that very first phrase, you are making a statement to every single person in that virtual room about who you are, what you stand for, and whether they should pay attention to you. In online meetings specifically, this moment is even more critical because you do not have the luxury of physical presence. You cannot walk in with confident body language that fills the room. You cannot shake hands firmly. You cannot make direct eye contact the way you do face-to-face. All you have, is your voice and your words. So when Alia says your first sentence matters more than you think, she is not exaggerating by even a single syllable. Imagine two people joining the same meeting. The first person says, hi, sorry, I think my audio is working now. Okay, so yeah, I'm here. The second person says, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today. I'm looking forward to a productive conversation. Same meeting, same timing, completely different impact. The second person has already positioned themselves as a leader before the agenda even begins. And this is not magic. This is not talent you are born with. This is a skill. And skills can be learned, practiced, and perfected. Starting today. Starting right now. Now, let us talk about something that Alia considers the absolute foundation of professional online communication, and that is vocabulary. Not complicated vocabulary. not impressive-sounding vocabulary that nobody understands, but precise, purposeful, professional vocabulary that communicates your intelligence without confusing your audience. Alia spent years observing what separates professionals who are remembered from those who are forgotten in virtual meetings, and the answer always came back to word choice. When you replace, "I think maybe we could try," with, "I'd like to propose," everything changes. When you replace, "so basically what I'm saying is," with, "to summarize my point clearly," everything changes. When you replace, "Yeah, that sounds good, I guess," with, "I fully support that direction and here's why," everything changes. The words you choose are not just words, they are signals. They tell your audience, "I prepared. I am serious. I respect your time. I know what I am talking about." Professional vocabulary does not require you to have a Harvard education. It requires you to expand your word toolkit deliberately, intentionally, and consistently, replacing weak filler phrases with strong, confident alternatives. Alia has one simple challenge for you. Before your next online meeting, write down 5 phrases you normally say and find their professional alternatives. Just 5. Practice them out loud 10 times each. And watch what happens in that meeting. Watch how people look at you differently. Watch how they listen more carefully. Watch how your own confidence rises, because when better words come out of your mouth, you feel better about yourself. And when you feel better about yourself, you perform better. It is a cycle, and it starts with one decision to choose your words more carefully. But here is where it gets truly fascinating, and this is something Alia is absolutely passionate about sharing. Professional speaking in online meetings is not a one-way street. It is not about delivering monologues and hoping people are impressed. It is about active listening, and more importantly, it is about showing that you are listening in a way that is visible and audible even through a screen. In a physical meeting, people can see you nod. They can see you lean forward. They can see your facial expressions responding to information in real time. But in an online meeting, half the time cameras are off. Connection is unstable. Distractions are everywhere. So the burden of demonstrating engagement shifts almost entirely to your verbal responses. This is where so many professionals fail without even realizing it. They go silent during someone else's presentation and accidentally appear checked out, uninterested, or even dismissive. Alia wants you to think about the difference this makes. When someone finishes speaking, instead of silence, you say, "That's a really valuable point, and it connects directly to what I wanted to raise." You have done 3 things simultaneously. You have shown you were listening, you have validated the speaker, and you have smoothly, professionally transitioned to your own contribution. This is not manipulation. This is sophisticated communication. This is the language of leaders, collaborators, and professionals who understand that meetings are not competitions, they are conversations. And the most skilled conversationalists are not the loudest people in the room. They are the most connected, the most present, the most genuinely engaged. And with practice, that person, that deeply present, professionally engaged communicator, can absolutely, completely, 100% be you. Now Alia must address something that every single person who has ever attended an online meeting has experienced, and that is the technical disaster moment. Your internet drops, someone talks over you, there is an echo, you cannot hear properly. The screen freezes at the worst possible second. And in that moment, most people do one of 2 things. They panic visibly, or they go completely silent and hope nobody noticed. Both responses damage your professional image, but here is the powerful truth that Alia wants you to carry with you forever. How you handle problems in a meeting reveals more about your professionalism than how you perform when everything goes perfectly. Anyone can look professional when everything is working. The real professional is the one who recovers gracefully, who says with complete calm and confidence, "I apologize for the interruption. I had a brief connection issue. Could you kindly repeat the last point?" Or, "It seems we had some technical difficulty. Allow me to re-summarize what I covered before the disruption." These phrases transform a potentially embarrassing moment into a demonstration of poise. They show self-awareness without self-consciousness. They show problem-solving without panic. And they show respect for the meeting without excessive apologizing that makes everyone feel uncomfortable. Alia wants you to understand, technical problems are universal. They happen to CEOs. They happen to TED Talk speakers. They happen to presidents in official international video conferences. What separates professionals is not that they avoid these moments. It is that they navigate them with such smooth, confident language that the moment barely registers as a disruption at all. And now, this is the part Alia feels most deeply about. We must talk about turn-taking. Because if professional vocabulary is the foundation and active listening is the structure, then knowing when and how to speak is the entire roof. Online meetings have a unique challenge that in-person meetings do not. The natural rhythm of conversation is broken. You cannot read body language perfectly through a screen. You cannot sense the micropause that signals someone is finished speaking. And this creates one of the most awkward experiences in professional online communication, the accidental interruption. You start speaking at the exact same moment as someone else. Silence. Confusion. No, you go ahead. No, please, you were saying. And suddenly 2 minutes have passed and nobody has said anything meaningful. Alia has a solution, and it is elegant in its simplicity. Learn and practice transitional phrases that signal your intention to contribute before you actually begin speaking. Phrases like, "If I may add something here," or "building on that point," or "I'd like to bring in a perspective on this." These phrases work as gentle signals. They tell the room, "I want to speak, I respect the flow of the conversation, and I am about to contribute something worth hearing." They eliminate interruption. They eliminate awkward silence. They replace confusion with coordination. And they position you, immediately, unmistakably, as someone who understands meeting etiquette at the highest level. In a world where online meetings have become the primary workplace for millions of professionals globally, this skill alone can genuinely transform your career trajectory. Not slightly, not gradually, but dramatically and rapidly. Now Alia wants to give you something extraordinarily practical, because inspiration without action is just entertainment, and you deserve more than entertainment today. You deserve transformation. So let us talk about how you close your contributions in a meeting, because just as your first sentence announces who you are, your closing statement determines how you are remembered. Most people simply trail off. Their sentences get quieter, more uncertain, until they fade into silence, hoping someone will pick up the conversation. This is the single most effective way to be forgotten in a professional setting. The professionals who are remembered, who are quoted in follow-up emails, who are recommended for leadership roles, who are invited back to important meetings, they close with intention. They say, "To bring my point together, I believe our strongest path forward is," or, "In conclusion on this matter, my recommendation is," or, "I'll wrap up my contribution by saying that." These closing phrases do something extraordinary for your professional image. They demonstrate clarity of thought. They demonstrate respect for everyone's time. They demonstrate that you know what you want to say, you said it, and you are done, without rambling, without uncertainty, without fading away like your ideas did not matter. Your ideas matter. Your voice matters. And the way you close each contribution in a meeting is your final opportunity to make that truth absolutely undeniable to every person listening. Finally, and Alia saves the most important truth for last, none of this works without one essential ingredient. Not confidence, not vocabulary, not perfect grammar. The most essential ingredient in professional online communication is consistency of practice. Every professional speaker you admire, every confident meeting leader you watch on screen, every person whose English sounds effortless and polished in virtual environments, they practiced every single day. Not for hours, not with perfect resources, but consistently, deliberately, and with genuine commitment to improvement. Alia has watched people go from barely being able to introduce themselves in English to leading international virtual conferences, not in years, but in months, simply because they decided to practice these skills every single day without exception. They listened to conversations like this one. They repeated phrases out loud even when it felt silly. They sat in front of their cameras and practiced their opening sentences before meetings. They recorded themselves and listened back. They made mistakes, and they made them proudly, because every mistake in practice is one less mistake in the real meeting that matters. The gap between where you are right now and where you want to be as a professional communicator is not as wide as you think. It is filled with practice, with patience, with courage, and with the absolute refusal to let language be the barrier that keeps your brilliance invisible to the world. Today, we journeyed through everything that transforms an ordinary meeting participant into a genuinely professional, powerfully confident online communicator. We discovered that your first sentence sets your entire professional tone before a single slide is shared. We learned that professional vocabulary is not about impressing people, it is about connecting with them at the highest level. We understood that active listening is a visible, audible skill that marks you as someone worth paying attention to. We equipped ourselves with the language to handle technical disasters with unshakable grace. We mastered the art of turn-taking, contributing to conversations with intention and respect. We learned to close our contributions with clarity that makes us impossible to forget. And above all, we committed to the one truth that makes all of it possible: consistent, courageous, daily practice. You came into this speech with questions about how to sound more professional online. You leave with answers, with tools, with phrases, with strategies, and, most importantly, with the knowledge that the professional communicator you want to become already exists inside you. She is waiting for vocabulary. She is waiting for practice. She is waiting for this exact moment of decision where you say, "Today, I begin." The world of online meetings is not going away. It is expanding into every industry, every country, every career path imaginable. And the professionals who master the language of virtual communication are not just surviving in this world, they are leading it. So go to your next meeting differently. Speak your first sentence with intention. Listen with visible engagement. Handle disruptions with calm sophistication. Contribute with timing and grace. And close every single statement with the quiet, undeniable confidence of someone who knows exactly what they are worth. Because you do know. You have always known. Now you have the language to prove it.